Right, let's cut to the chase. When you hear about corporate rescue schemes, you think that they're designed to save businesses, right? Listen, think again. 7 companies, including Atherton Corporate, have just been shut down for doing the exact opposite. They're basically undermining the entire insolvency industry. And if you're a business owner and you're worried about your business and it's become insolvent, this is a scandal you cannot afford to ignore, right? Now, if you watch me or you follow commentary from other leading voices in the insolvency industry, you will have heard about Atherton Corporate UK Limited or other Atherton Corporate Rescue. And if you've not, right, if you're watching me, it's highly likely you've typed in can't pay me debts, liquidate me company, bounce back loan, whatever you've typed in to find this funny looking bold chap who talks about liquidation. The algorithms of Google, Facebook, TikTok, whatever your poison is, will be targeting you with adverts. And one of these adverts will be, sell your company, alternative to liquidation. No need to go down the insolvency route. Sell your company for £1 and sail off to the sunset, right? This is what these companies do, right? This was the marketing approach from Atherton Corporate UK Limited, right? Now, they've just been wound up following investigations by the Insolvency Service. And basically what they were doing, they promoted themselves as an offering a legal alternative to using insolvency practitioners. But what's the truth? They were misleading struggling business owners, pushing them to sell off assets and effectively abandon their responsibilities, all while claiming this was a legitimate way to avoid liquidation and avoid an investigation. Now the reality is, these companies, they weren't rescuing any businesses. They were basically helping directors escape the consequences of the financial failures, and they were charging like wounded rhinos. Now, this is what I've heard. If your company owed over £500,000, they'd charge you 15 grand plus VAT. It's a fair significant sum for a scheme that did nothing. I mean, all it really did was dig a deeper hole for everyone involved. So I'm going to buy your company. I owe £500,000, Chris. No, I'm still going to buy it. Okay, sounds brilliant, but I want 15 grand off you. It sounds fishy to me. Listen, Atherton Corporate falsely assured directors that they could simply walk away from the troubled companies. They keep all their assets, leave behind the debts, what could possibly go wrong? They claimed that there'd be no need to cooperate with liquidators and directors could continue trading under a new company without any repercussions. I mean, well, according to the Insolvency Service, that advice isn't just misleading, it's illegal. I mean, what were going to happen, right? Let's say, I don't know, Joe Bloggs Limited, he's racked up £500,000 worth of debt. He's paid Atherton 15 grand. Atherton have put patsy directors on and Joe Bloggs sailed off into the sunset. Now, what directors were told is delay submitting information to company's house so you can still access the company bank account. Get rid of all the books and records which you're meant to keep. I mean, this type of advice, if you're being told this type of thing, it's like not just skirting around the law, it's trampling all over it. It doesn't sound right. If your business is insolvent, you're very vulnerable. And most of you will do anything to take the pain and worry and anguish away. But sadly, if you become vastly insolvent, you've really got 2 options. You either liquidate voluntarily, it's going to cost you money, or you liquidate compulsory. If you liquidate compulsory, it might not cost you any money up front, but let's say you've got overdrawn directors' loan accounts, that could cost you down the line. I mean, people in my industry have been going on about this for years. I mean, it's no surprise that the Insolvency Service have got involved now. And what they found out is that the companies, they were deliberately undermining the insolvency regime. They were forced closures in the public interest. It doesn't happen very, very often, this. The Insolvency Service don't come around and go, you know what, I'm closing your business down, unless something seriously wrong's been going on. Now, there was a comment I read, you know, it wasn't just about shutting down a few businesses, it's about protecting the integrity of the entire UK insolvency system. The insolvency industry as a whole, it's heavily regulated. You know, the insolvency practitioners have to go to, you know, various licensing bodies. They've got to pass an incredibly hard test. They've got a lot of governance that hang them over them. And what these companies were doing, they were basically creating a very dangerous precedent where a struggling business, it was actually pushed further into debt and legal jeopardy. And all the while the directors are, you know, they're getting assured, don't worry about it, it's no issues, you've got no problems down the line. I mean, what's going to happen to these directors who fell foul to the scam? That's going to be another video when we start to hear a bit more about that. I mean, what can we learn from this, you know, this debacle? I mean, first and foremost, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Now, when it comes to insolvency, there are no shortcuts. You know, it can be really hard and overwhelming for business owners. If you're going to go into liquidation, you need to be armed with the facts. You need to be told exactly what the problem is and what the options are and what's going to happen if you go into liquidation. And anyone saying to you, listen, you have no problems, don't worry about it, just, you know, that's not true. If you've done something wrong, you're going to get your collar felt, you know. If you're getting approached by these type of scams, it's really important that you do your own due diligence. You know, that there are real legal ways to manage debt and financial distress. You know, trying to bypass the system can lead to some pretty bad consequences, you know, legally and financially. But I think it's good that the Insolvency Service have stepped in. You know, that it's a bit of a reminder that they'll take action to companies that you know, that aren't abiding by the law, that are doing the public a bit of a disservice. I mean, if you're ever in doubt about the legitimacy of advice or services being offered, you know, take more than one bit of advice. You know, you don't have to go with the first person you jump into bed with, and that includes me. You know, speak to two, speak to three, speak to four people. It's a big decision. Hopefully you only ever put a business into liquidation once. If you make the wrong decision, there can be huge consequences for you down the line. If you do it right with the right firm who gives you the right advice and tells you everything, it may be costly, but you will be aware of it on day one. If you found the video informative, make sure to like, subscribe and share it with others who might benefit from this information. And if you've got any questions or you need any further advice, drop a comment below. I am here to help. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.